Welcome to Too Many Thoughts and Too Many Problems podcast. This podcast is going to be kind of a special one because I don't think it'll be about the usual too many thoughts and too many problems subject that we usually talk about on here. Today's topic is going to be about volleyball.
Yay! Love volleyball.
Yeah, dude. So I'm loving it a lot more than I have been, even more so than before.
I'm happy to hear that. I like when people, not just like volleyball, but just things in general, people really get into something.
Right. Like, why have a hobby that you aren't fully passionate about?
Yeah.
I mean, not why, but because I'm sure like people are always looking for hobbies. Like they don't know what exactly they're super passionate about, but like when you do find one that you're super passionate about, it's like really nice to hear.
And it's like, it's the kind of thing that, like with most hobbies, the better you get at it, the more invested you get in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you try something one time and you suck at it, like some people will just be like, whoa, that was the best experience. I'm going to dive into it. But most people, it takes a little while. So yeah, the more you play, the more fun it becomes to a point. Yeah. You know,
fun fact, I used to hate volleyball.
Why is that?
Like, so I guess we'll get into it. Like, so as many Hmong people do, we kind of grow up playing volleyball and messing around with it. So like I've kind of grown up with the general experience of volleyball, but I've never officially played it like in a match or like for a team or for a school particularly. But we generally grow up playing it around like grass and stuff like that, parties, like random picnic tournaments and stuff. And I hated it because when I first was introduced to it, it was my dad who introduced me to it. And he was kind of like trying to teach me and like my cousins how to get into it. And I was a hot-headed kid growing up.
It's okay.
And my dad being like the one who was like the coach, I just never got along with him. So I associated like my like I guess hatred towards my dad to volleyball as well. Yeah. So like I hated volleyball so much growing up, and I just like never really wanted to play or learn how to play it properly.
Yeah, it's tough that way because a lot of people grow up and then have kids and want to be like, oh, I want to put my kids in sports. Like, I'm gonna be the athlete dad that's at all the games and coach or whatever. It's like, but does your kid want that though? Yeah. Because sometimes kids don't really be wanting that kind of thing, you know. Yeah. And it can kind of taint not just sports, just anything in general. It can kind of taint the experience for them if you're too heavy-handed about it.
Right. Yeah, but then I tried to get back into it in university, but you know, by that time, I'm like a 5'5" Asian kid. And then you go to university and like, if you want to play volleyball, you got to be like 6'2".
Everyone's massive. Yeah. Playing on like pretty much any college level. Like, if you want to play anything besides specifically, like you could get away with being a setter, but even like a lot of setters on a lot of teams are taller guys too.
Right.
Or lib, like even like big time libs are still pretty big. Like everybody on a volleyball team is kind of tall. So
it's like, So that was kind of like a big downer for me. And then, so I basically like just was on and off, kind of quit, kind of tried to play, quit. And then it wasn't until like Korea, about like 3 years now, actually, where I got really into it and like really started to like build or rebuild, I guess, my foundation to be an actual volleyball player within like, you know, recreational play. And so basically, officially, I think I've had like 3 years, but been messing around with it ever since, like growing up and stuff.
Kind of like 3 years of taking it seriously, like trying to actively learn it.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because like these 3 years is basically just me trying to fix all the bad habits I've built up, messing around, going on and off, and like, you know, now that I'm like 28, it's like really hard to unlearn all the bad habits and put in new habits. Whereas if I had like properly done it as a kid, I probably would be a lot better than I am now. So, I mean, that's my current experience with volleyball, the general background.
That's an underrated aspect of it though, because it's like, if you just learn how to do something right the first time, then you can refine it and get better at it. But if you learn something wrong the first time, then you can't refine it. You have to go back, unlearn it, relearn it, and then refine it. And it's like such a long, it's hard. You got to be focused on it all the time. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm going through the same thing with a whole bunch of different aspects of volleyball as well. I've been playing for a long time, so yeah.
So well, okay, how long have you been playing for then?
So I just had to look this up because I know that I've been playing since the 7th grade. I'm 31 now, so that's almost 20 years. Almost. It will be, because in Canada you're 12, 13 in 7th grade. Yeah. According to Google. And I'm 31 now, so next year will be 20 years of volleyball. Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish you got to play like in school and stuff, right?
I did. I didn't play in college, which is something I look back on with regret. But I played through middle school. I played all the way through high school. I played outside of school in a bunch of different cities around Canada and stuff like that. So I've been playing a while.
I've always wanted to know what that felt like. Especially since I've watched like Haikyuu and stuff. I was like, what's it feel like to be in a sports team and then like go through the X amount of years together and trying to be, top, the first place for a tournament or nationals or whatever, and like to lose and feel like a sense of regret and stuff. And then to win the next year and then be like, yeah, we got so much better.
Yeah. I mean, we never made it all the way to the mountaintop and we never won the whole thing, but in my... Okay, we'll get into the whole thing in a little bit. But yeah, essentially it is fun. It's what I'll say. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, so I've always been kind of jealous of people who got to do that because like I'm from Colorado and it's picking up now ever since I've left. But like when I was growing up, volleyball was only for girls. Yeah, like if you played volleyball as a guy, you were like either seen as gay or like
effeminate.
Yeah, effeminate. Yeah, just not trying to be,
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that people saw it.
Yeah, it's just the way people saw it back then, know. But then, a lot of people outside of Colorado, especially in like Cali and like in the LA.
The volleyball
scene was huge.
The volleyball mecca, California and Hawaii.
Oh, I wish I was like born there. Those guys are monsters.
It's like a lifestyle there. Yeah. I mean, I've only been to California once. I went to LA once and spent some time on Venice Beach, and it's just rows and rows and rows of nets. And that's just beach. Yeah. Like, that doesn't even include, indoor tournaments, clubs. Like, because California in and of itself is a huge place. Right. There's so many different areas in California, and it seems like all over the entire state, it's just everybody's playing volleyball. So when you play against that level of competition, like, you really don't, especially from a young age, you don't really have any option but to be good. If you start early, you have to compete, or there's just not really a place for you. A place for you. Yeah
Dude, so you're saying like there's so many nets in Cali, and then I thought like in Colorado I thought the volleyball scene was pretty small, but then ever since coming to Korea I feel like the volleyball scene here is even smaller. Yeah. And how you're saying like nets are just set up for people to play. And in Colorado, you can do that too. Like, you can just set up a net on grass or whatever and just play. But man, in Korea, like getting an open gym or just to like free playtime because you have to spend money is like the hardest thing in the world here. Right?
Yeah. Sports in Korea, not just volleyball I found, but sports in general, like everything has to be official. There's no just like casual, because I used to ask my coworkers and friends and stuff, I'm like, so like what people that were born and lived in Korea, I was like, so like what's up with sports? Like growing up we just played sports. That was a normal thing. You had gym class, people were playing on teams and stuff like that. And here the idea, like, and Korean people don't come for me, this is just what I heard, but the idea is essentially like, if you're not going to do that thing, like if you're not going to be good at that thing, then you just kind of don't do it, because there's just no time. Like, people are studying for things all the time. Like, there's not a whole lot of time for, let's just go play soccer, or like, let's go play volleyball. Like, you're in a hagwon for it, or you're not doing it. It's not really something, because even if you go around to a lot of the schools, right, like look at the schools, like the outside, there's like no field or anything. It's just dirt. Like, there's not really people outside. Like, I'm sure they play, but it's not athletics doesn't seem to be a primary focus here. So then you get a lot of adults here that just don't play sports.
Yeah.
So the ones that do have to pay a premium to be able to do it. Like, I remember back home, I was playing volleyball, like, at one point, which is probably not great for my knees, but I was playing volleyball like 4 days a week. Sometimes even more than that.
Right.
Like, almost every day there's somewhere I could play. I could play at this gym. This high school is hosting volleyball here. You could go to this tournament on the weekend. Here, I play once a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, I enjoy it because it's long. It's 4 hours.
Right.
But it's hard to get your reps in when you're only playing once a week. You feel like you make a breakthrough, and then you have to wait until the next week.
Yeah.
So it's tough. There's not as much players out here.
Yeah, I think that's why it's also been pretty hard for me to learn too. Like, I'm a person who needs like continuous reps in order for me to like fully remember it, or like in my like mental, physical to mental connection.
Yeah.
To make that connection. And so when you only play like once a week, it's like really hard to like, oh yeah, I made that great swing last week.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that a whole week.
And it's like anything, right? Like if you're trying to learn how to play piano, and you go to piano lessons on a Sunday, and then you don't practice from Sunday to Sunday, and you go back to piano lessons, you're not going to be able to play that song that you were learning. You know, like, it takes repetition. You have to be able to do it a lot. And the tough thing about volleyball specifically is volleyball's not really something you can just go do. You know, like, if you want to play soccer, you can take your soccer ball outside and just go dribble your soccer ball around.
Yeah.
You know, you can take it to any high school and just like go around the track or something and like work on footwork. If you want to play basketball, like, basketball is not as big here as it was like in a lot of other places, but you can still go to a high school and they have courts set up outside and you can go play. Volleyball requires people often. It requires a net. You gotta like. And if you're playing indoor and beach are not the same. You got to find a place, and all of that just ends up costing money and taking time and organization. It's not something you can really just pick up and go in.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, especially in Korea, like, volleyball isn't as popular yet either. Like, you can tell with the Olympic scene, like, they only have a women's team for volleyball, and they don't have a men's team for volleyball. It's just like not as important yet. I think just today they finally switched the national level for volleyball here. They changed the ball to the Mikasa ball.
Yeah, to an actual volleyball that everybody uses. Yeah, and has been using for
like international ball that people
over a decade.
Yeah. They've been like high strung, stuck on like that. I don't even know the brand of the name, but
not the Star Ball, right?
Yeah, no, it's a Star Ball.
It's the Star Ball?
They changed from the Star Ball to the Mikasa
They
ball.
were using a Star Ball is like what we used in like
using the Star Ball.
Middle school gym class, man.
Yeah, they were using the Star Ball for their high level performance pro play here.
That ball is terrible.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And there's tournaments that we play where we have to use it, and I'm like, why would we do this?
Yeah.
Like, they're aware of the existence of molten balls. They're aware of the existence of Mikasa balls, and they know that that's what everybody's using. There's a lot of weird contrarian stuff that goes on, it seems, with Korean volleyball, where it's like, we don't have a volleyball scene, but we have a 9-man scene where every tournament is just 9 men. There's like 15 9-man teams, but no 6-man teams. Yeah. It's just, there's so much
9-man is
stuff.
Still very like strong here too, if you guys don't know. Like, you guys might not think it is, but yeah, every open gym that you go to that is like a Korean club, they all play 9-man.
And it's no disrespect to 9-man. Like, I got homies back home that if they check this out, they're gonna be like, "What are you talking about 9-man?" Like my friends play 9-man. I have no problem with 9-man, but it's just, even back home, 9-man was secondary to volleyball. Volleyball was the sport, and 9-man was the sport that they also played. But I wouldn't, if I asked my friends like, "Yo, what do you play?" They're not gonna be like, "Yo, I'm a 9-man player." No, I was like, "I'm a volleyball player. I also play on a 9-man team."
Right.
You know, so, but here, like, there's players that just play 9-man. There's tournaments where it's almost all 9-man, and then there'll be like 3 6-man teams. It's infuriating. Infuriating.
And the thing is, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's just from my observation, right? Like, and I'm not trying to put any hate on Korea and their volleyball, but they play 9-man because it's like easier, you know, like
here it's easier.
like for them, because they put the net lower one, and I don't know if 9-man anywhere else, because I've never been introduced to 9-man until I came here.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like they don't rotate for 9-man at all. And they specifically have 9-man so that like their players can just stay in one position and focus on that one position. And also with this, like, yeah, even for the men's net, it's like a lot lower too.
Yeah.
Like, and when they play 6-man, it's still a lot lower. I've never been to like a 6-man volleyball. Well, we've been to like one tournament where they had the official like 243 net, but like usually when you go to a competition for 6-man here or 9-man, it's like a lot lower.
I gotta shoot 9-man a little bit of bail just because like some of the best players that I know back home also play 9-man, and they're good anywhere. Like you can put them on the beach, you can put them in 6-man, you can put them in 9-man, they can play, and it's like the tournaments that they go to,
right?
Like you're seeing people bounce balls and like it's crazy. So like if you're a good 6-man player, you're gonna be a good 9-man player.
Yeah.
But like as far as the way that it's played, it looks easier to me when you have so much more people on it. But then again, the rules are different. I don't play it, so I can't really say whether or not it's easier or not. I haven't been allowed to play it. There's been rules where it's like you can't have foreigners on the team, you know. So I've kind of been excluded from that, which is fine. But yeah, they do have something here about not playing on like official men's height net for men, which I don't understand. There was a tournament that our team lost. I didn't go to that tournament, but there was a tournament our team lost where they played on a low net. And you would think that having the low net would be an advantage for our team because we can hit on the regular size net.
Yeah.
But it gives the other team
an advantage.
Yeah, it like evens the playing field in a way that it shouldn't be even.
Yeah.
Like if we can hit on a full size net, we should be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
If you can't hit on a full size net, we shouldn't be lowering the net to make you now comparable to us.
Right.
And then we lost that tournament. I'm not trying to make excuses for it. I wasn't there. But it's like, it's just, I don't know. Even other clubs that play, like we have DVB, but other clubs that play, like I hear that they play on lower nets too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never been a fan of that.
Yeah, neither have I. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I'm not going to say 9-man is bad outside of Korea. Yeah. You know,
they play some ball out there.
Yeah,
like,
of course. I've seen like some TikTok highlights. Yeah, New York, bro. Like they slam that, especially when they're trying to. You got swing against like 4 blockers. Oof, that's crazy.
And like they're playing on concrete. They got like the Megan Thee Stallion knees and everything. Strong knees. Yeah, so I gotta give it to them. But
just
from not for me.
Yeah, my experience with the community of 9-man I've played here, it's always been like, okay, we're playing 9-man so that we can put like this really strong left or outside hitter that we've trained, like some sort of, like, what do they call it? Like a sun tzu. So that just means like someone who's played volleyball for a long time. They've been like professionally trained. They put them on the left, and then we'll just put all of our like people who are just learning volleyball or who are good at passing in the back. And then what we'll do is we'll just set every ball to the strong side. That's essentially the offense that they run. Like I don't think that's like a normal 9-man offense. Like I feel like when I do watch like good 9-man teams play, like they switch
use
it up. All of it. Yeah,
but
all hitters.
The last tournament that we went to, there was a whole bunch of 9-man teams, and I mean, kudos to them for being able to like be on the team. But I just saw some players where I was talking to the team because we were waiting to play. Yeah, and I was like, "There's no way." Like if they were on a court with like 6 men with like players that know how to play, it would be a bloodbath, man.
Yeah,
like,
they wouldn't know what to do.
It didn't look good. Yeah. But it's not for us. Yeah. You know, it's like it gives them an opportunity
to play. Yeah,
it gives them an opportunity to play. So I can't really, you know, it's essentially like having 4 libs or 3 libs or whatever in the back, and they just all pass. And if that's what they're cool with doing, and it gives them a chance to win and unwind and you know, have fun with their friends, then you know I can't hate on it. I can't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I feel like I'm only hating on it because it seems like it's so prevalent here, and there's so little 6-men. Yeah. If there was way more 6-men, I wouldn't even care. Yeah. It's just that every tournament is like, oh no, it's 9-men. Yeah. Oh no, it's Koreans only. Yeah. It's like we already don't have that many players. Yeah. You know, it would be nice if we had more opportunity. Right. So how do you feel about like your experience so far between like playing volleyball in this Canada and then versus playing here? Well, I mean, I grew up playing in Canada, right? So like my experience is more varied there. Like I played in school, I played in, you know, at club prep camps, and I played, you know, all over the GTA in different places and even outside of the GTA. So it's definitely different, but I was just exposed to so many more players. Like you're exposed to people that are way lower level to people that are really, 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 really good. And here we play tournaments, but often we see a lot of the same people. And the level is pretty good. If I had to compare the level, obviously I'm going to say Canada is higher just because there's more volleyball in general. But I mean, I've been super lucky to be able to meet like some really good players here, like players on our team, you know? So it's good. I just wish it was bigger.
Right. For sure. Like, I think that is the biggest problem. Like, and it's not to blame Korea, because like if you look at Korea's infrastructure and the size of Korea, it's like a lot smaller. And especially comparing to the States or even Canada, it's way smaller. And so it's hard to be like, oh, I want a bigger scene, when anytime you're looking at a building, it's like super expensive to rent one. And then just to play, and you got to do like a $15 cover charge.
The rental fees here
per person
are nuts.
It's crazy.
Like, we don't do the renting really, but like we pitch in for the cost. And I mean, we're fortunate enough that we pay what we pay, but I mean, not for nothing. Back when I was in Canada, I was paying like less than $5 for a session. It's like, yo, here's like $3 or something like that, and that's all you got to pay for the session. And you just, you know, you can do that. You can do that all week. You know, you spend less than $10 for the week, and you can play like 3-4 times. You know, so
one session here is like minimum 15. I barely, maybe a couple sessions I've paid like 10, but it's rarely ever lower than 15. Yeah.
It's expensive here, man. And I think it's
for 2 hours. Well, the one we play is 4 hours, but like
we get a very good deal on that.
Like yesterday, the one I played with Astro was like 15 for 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's like I played with Astro. Like, shout out them for even letting me come in the first place. But it's like I played middle, so I was off a lot. Yeah. And it's only 2 hours. So it's like you pay, and then you're off half the time that you're there. Yeah. So you're really playing essentially an hour. Yeah. And you paid, you know.
Well, then you warm up for like 30 minutes too. So you're playing like 30 minutes.
So, you know, I mean, it's not really their fault.
Right.
I was kind of brought in to play that position, which is still ridiculous. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I was brought in to do that. So it cuts a lot of your playtime off, and you're still paying the same full price.
Yeah. It's just frustrating. As much as we would like to not complain, it's hard to not complain, you know.
There's a lot of good sides to it too. Like, we can definitely get into the good sides of it, but like as far as money goes, it's expensive as far as volleyball goes.
Yeah. I mean, like in the States, you can play for free like all the time.
You can just go outside.
Yeah, just go outside, set up a net on the grass. Boom, you're done. You said LA beaches, nets are set up for you already. Yeah. I see like one of our friends in Hong Kong, they got streets set up on the streets all the time too. Like,
but I also think countries like that are more like, they're bigger on like recreational sports.
Right.
Like China, like Hong Kong, China has such a big recreational basketball scene too.
For real.
Like, they got all these shoe brands that they like, you know, all these shoe brands that they've made, and they're all for outdoor courts. They got Li-Ning, Anta.
They're killing it.
They've got, you know, I think Rigorous Chinese. Like, they have all of these brands, and they have all of these courts, and when you put money into an infrastructure, it pays out. You know, that's why they have solid basketball players there, and that's why they can make money, and they can bring in people like Kyrie Irving to like
solid basketball players. Yeah, like second to NBA.
Yeah, they can bring in basketball players to play in their league, and they can bring in. Not that the Korean league has some basketball players, but it's just a different level of ball. So I think that countries just need to invest in their infrastructure when it comes to different kinds of sports. It would be nice if they did volleyball, but
it'd be nice if they let us play grass volleyball.
Do they not let you guys do that? I feel like I see you guys do it though.
No, but we play on the dirt. Oh, like every time we try to set up on their grass area, they're always like, "Oh, you can't play here," and then they will always. It's like a different reason every time. It's like, "Oh, you can hurt the people around you. Oh, you're killing our grass. Oh,
but people are walking on the grass anyway."
Yeah. For real.
That's dumb. It's like, you can hurt the people around you, then why don't they just move? If they see people are playing volleyball, then like far be it from me to tell somebody to move, but if you see a game is going on right beside you and you don't want to get
next
hit,
to it? Yeah,
then move.
And it's not like we're setting up right where all the people are. We usually set up at a spot where like there's no one or like very few people anyways. And it's hard for them to say you're killing the grass when, you know, you see Koreans setting up tents.
Yeah.
And they're putting in the nails into the ground with their tents on the like Hangan parks. It's like, bro.
But it kind of be like that, because I remember even when I was living in Ilsan, for example, I remember when this was like COVID, like peak COVID, and they were like, well, we're shutting down, because the basketball court was in Lake Park, which is like a big park in Ilsan, right? And they shut down the basketball court and kept the park open.
Oh, what the heck?
So people could go and have picnics and stuff outside and walk around, but they're like, oh no, you can't play basketball. Like you could like spread COVID. Like, but the basketball court is inside the park. You kept the park open for people to like have dates and picnics and stuff, but you shut down the basketball court so we can't play it. I just think Korea is very like to the chest when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not really a sport country. Like, if you're a professional, then we love you and we respect you. But like, as far as casual recreational sports, like, nah, we're not into that.
Yeah.
You need to go to a hagwon for this. Like, you can't just play. You
should be studying. Yeah. I don't know. Not trying to hate too much on it, but it's just frustrating sometimes when you want to play more volleyball.
It's just different, man. Yeah. It's like we're playing in a country where like,
but it's coming
sports
up.
In general aren't really viewed as much, like, as well. That's why all the tournaments, like, they have foreigner tournaments. Like, we don't get to face Korean teams. We don't face Korean players, and I think that's so weird.
Yeah, they like won't let Koreans play with the foreigners.
Yeah, I don't
or
get
vice
that.
versa. Yeah,
like even in tournaments where, like, because we have a lot of Korean people in DVB. Like, even when we have tournaments like that, they'll be like, well, you can have one foreigner if they've lived here for like
5 years. Yeah,
or if they're married. It's like, why though?
Yeah.
Is it fear? Like, I don't, because to me it sounds like fear. It sounds like they're like, well, if we let foreigners play, they're just gonna like slam it on us every single time. And I'm like, that's dumb. Mm-hmm. You gotta have faith in your own players.
Yeah, for reals. Yeah, not to knock on it too much, but it's growing. It is growing though. Like,
yeah, it seems like
you can see like a lot, especially with just a simple change in the ball.
Yeah. Clearly they care enough about it to make some sort of changes.
Right. Exactly. And you know, when you go play, like when I went to go play with Astro, a lot of the kids, like the Korean kids, are getting a lot better too. You can tell like they're a lot better than some of the adults that I've seen play for several years. So it's growing.
It's
like
new generation.
Yeah, new generation.
Kids are big too, man.
The Korean kids are tall, man.
Yeah,
some of these Korean kids,
like,
super tall.
They're huge.
Yeah,
and it makes a big difference, especially when you're talking about volleyball.
Yeah,
you know, like even back home, my cousins, they're in high school, like not even at the end of high school, like 10th grade.
Yeah,
they're huge. They're like 6'3", like 6'3", 6. I don't know if they're 6'4", but they're bigger than me for sure. And they're in high school and they're playing volleyball. And like, I wish I was that big. If I was that big, I would have been out of here. I would have been playing in Saudi Arabia or something like that, man. So yeah,
it's coming up. Just, I wish it was bigger now. While I'm like still somewhat young.
We're part of it though.
Yeah,
like we're part of a growing community of volleyball players, foreigner volleyball players and stuff. And I feel like a lot of us are connected because we play tournaments together. Yeah, and we know other clubs. You know, SUS or SUS.
Yeah, SUS.
And, and then we have us, and there's clubs in like Daejeon and all these other places, and they come out to tournaments. So we're a small community of players, but you know, at least we're part of something. Yeah, we're helping build it up, I think.
Yeah. So what do you think what's the good thing about it? What do you think?
The camaraderie, man. It's always going to be the camaraderie. Like, we see the same people all the time, and we're around great people, and we get to compete against each other. We get to get better together. We know each other's flaws, and we can back each other up as far as like playing. And we always have, if we want to play a tournament, we always have a team. Yeah, you're never just like on your own somewhere and you have to figure it out. Like, you always have a team of people that you are comfortable with, that you know how to play with. Yeah, that's true. We go out to eat together, we hang out together. Like, it's fun. Yeah, it's camaraderie. Yeah,
that's true. You get to grow together, so it's a lot better than just constantly trying to find somewhere to fit yourself, you know. But what about, the clubs that aren't so camaraderie-ness? That's not even a word, but like.
I mean, I don't know. I don't play for them. Like, as I'm sure that there probably is some. Yeah. But I mean, there's different like stuff where it's like less about that and it's kind of like more business like. Like I remember, for example, like shout out PB. I love PB. But PB is less like, because it's more just straight competition. It's not really like you don't go for a practice. And I mean, they used to have that every now and then. So like shout out them. But in my experience playing with them, we had a team and there was other teams and we played the league. So it wasn't like we knew other players, but I wasn't really like hanging out with players from other teams. I kind of just knew my team and we'd come together and we'd play. But they did have open gyms and stuff. So shout out PB. Bring that back. Yeah. It seems like they don't have that right now.
Yeah, they don't. They're pretty focused on their basketball scene.
The basketball blowing up for them though.
Yeah. Basketball's blowing up in Korea in general too.
It is.
Like sports art is finally blowing up in Korea though. Like it's getting more, people are starting to realize like leisure, or it's expanding their leisure towards other things besides eating chicken and beer.
Korea's a very trend-driven place, man. So if some people said, "Yo, sports are cool," then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that person says sports are cool. Sports are cool." Then everybody like we gotta start investing money and time into it. Like golf is blowing up. Golf is like a huge thing here. People are playing tennis here. Like sports is a big deal right now, which is it's nice that it's happening while we're here. Yeah, because it could have happened, 10 years from now, 20 years from now when we're not here anymore. Right. Maybe.
Yeah. So what is like your most frustrating thing so far about playing here then?
My most frustrating thing?
Yeah.
Besides the just lack of playing time, like, because I only play like once a week, and which is sometimes my fault. I could probably play more. It just adds up. Like it ends up costing a lot of money.
Yeah.
The most frustrating thing, I think, because we have a lack of players, we have a lack of positional versatility. So there's just not that many people. I feel like when I'm playing back in Canada, if I need a position, I can find somebody for that position, and that's their position. Like if I need a setter, I can find a setter. If I need a right side, I can find a right side. Whereas here, I just feel like because we have less people, everybody's kind of shuffled into like two positions, like mostly one position, and then kind of like an offshoot. So because of that, and because I've been playing for so long, I kind of get shoehorned into positions that I don't play. Yeah. So recently I've been playing a lot of middle.
Which you're not.
I mean,
didn't you start as an oppo?
I am an opposite. I'm a right side player. That's what I played for officially for like 7 years.
Okay.
I know that position better. It also caters to my strengths more. Like you don't pass as much, but you do block, which is something that I do fairly well. Yeah. If you have a good setter, you get like solid hits. You get to hit from the back row, like
you get hit all the time,
and you hit a lot if you have a good setter. It's and I'm me as an offensive player. It's like a good position for me. But middle is such a defensive position. It's middle blocker. So your job is mostly just to block. You don't play back row. You don't really pass. So I don't get a lot of reps on passing these days, which sucks. And you just play less. Like you get subbed out of the back, so you're just off for like long periods of time sometimes, like long rallies.
Yeah. There's been games where like I think you've lost where you have to sit out because you're just like,
Both the last tournaments that I lost while sitting on the bench.
Yeah, because you're just watching.
I'm just sitting there off the court and we just lose.
Yeah.
And I'm not even in the game to like even affect it in any way. I'm just cheering for the team, which is like I cheer for my team, I cheer for my homies, but it doesn't feel good to be off the court when your team is losing.
Yeah, especially when you're like, I could have played that position and made those points.
Who's to say what I would have done? But I trust myself enough that if I'm on a court, like I've been playing long enough that even if my body isn't always 100% healthy, I have a mind to play. Yeah, like I make plays when I'm on the court. I'm confident in my ability to get points. I'm confident in my ability to play defense and stuff like that. So, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Like we play with lots of people that are very good and like they're confident in their abilities, but the way my pride is set up, like I can't be sitting on the bench when my team is losing, bro. I know what I can contribute to a team, and I wish I had more opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
But like I said, we don't have a lot of players in Korea, and everybody's kind of shuffled into just playing left.
Yeah.
Or and if they can't get left, then they play right, which is my position.
Yeah.
So then, and we don't have a lot of setters either. And then if they can't get left or right, then they just lib.
Yeah.
So then it's
because they can't play middle.
So it just ends up being like, if you play middle once, you're just stuck there forever because like nobody ever wants to try.
Yeah.
And it sucks. You know, I've learned a lot about the position, so that's a positive. Like I've improved at, you know, my blocking footwork, and I've tried to improve at reading setters and stuff like that. So you just take whatever opportunity you can get and try and get better in your role. But it would be nice to be able to. I just feel like the ceiling of the teams that I'm on is higher when I'm comfortable and I'm playing my position. And I feel like the floor of our team is higher when I'm playing middle because I just make up for like a lack of having a middle. But the ceiling of the team is higher when I'm playing a position where I can put pressure on the other team's defense with my offense. So it'd be nice if I could get back to that, but honestly, the way things are going, I don't know if it's ever gonna. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen, man. I don't know who else is gonna play middle, so we're kind of just stuck like this.
I mean, I can play middle, but then
and you do.
Like, yeah, and I do, and I'm in the decent middle. But like, if you were to compare me to like yourself or someone else who doesn't play middle, but they could play middle, because you know, like middle is again, like you said, it's a defensive kind of position too,
and it's hard.
Yeah, and it's hard. So like, if you're gonna have someone who is like me, who's 5'5", versus someone who's any bit taller, then you're gonna put the person who's a bit taller there, regardless.
But I respect you for even doing it.
Yeah,
you know, because like, how many people that are 5'5" would be like, "Yo, I'll go play middle."
Yeah,
like almost nobody's gonna do that.
Hinata show you high Q. Let's go.
Yeah, very few people are gonna be like, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna go for it. And like, not for nothing, you played well.
Yeah,
like not just well for your size, you played it well. Period. So man. I would use that as an example to others that just try it.
Yeah,
just try it.
The funny thing is, like back in the States, man, like at least in Colorado, when it doesn't matter what position you've played, as long as you got to hit, people like just wanted to play, you know? Like even for middle, I feel like we got to hit a lot. And I don't know if it's just like the difference in like play style or volleyball here, but like sometimes we don't utilize the middle as much as we should be. Or like, or just like, I don't know, like our passes aren't there or something.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination of a few things. It's the passing for sure.
Yeah, or like a lot of times, maybe in higher levels, because I was playing like lower level back in the States anyways, but in higher levels, they like, you have to run like quicks in order to get past the block. But you know, on grass, we just like throw a 2 or like
and that's
to the middle.
Like growing up, middle school, high school, like I didn't play on some like super prestigious, amazing team. So I didn't play middle, but for our middles, we kind of just threw it up there.
Yeah.
Right. And like, if it was high enough and you were athletic enough, you could bang it.
Yeah.
Now, when you're facing other teams where their middles are big, right, you kind of have to run a 1. You have to run a fast,
like a quick,
a fast offense, and that's as much as it seems easy when you like watch YouTube videos or like Instagram reels and stuff like that. Like,
it's not.
Connecting with your setter on a 1 is like actually it's hard.
Yeah.
That's why even me, I don't even run a real like full 1 tempo. I run like a
1.5.
Yeah, like a slight step behind so I can actually pinpoint the ball.
Yeah.
And when the set is that low, you know, you're kind of at the mercy of the block, right? Like when you're playing outside, you can get a full jump, full swing, eyes. You know, you can look at the block and like
look at the space
when you're in
that's
the
open.
When you're in the middle, like if you don't get it down right away or like trick the defense, like they could just slam you and there's nothing. Nothing. I got slammed on Sunday by Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he like crushed my head because there's no space. Like I get like a set right above the net and then there's just nothing there. So you just get slammed. And there's nothing you can do.
And then he slammed one on you.
He crushed me. Yeah.
Yeah, a quick 1 too that he slammed. That was
I mean, I can take away 1 spot, but
you know,
he's bigger than me, and the other spot was wide open. So there's nothing that I could really do about that.
Were you blocking that one?
I was. I was I was in the middle, but I took away one. You took away
the.
So I took away across his body because that's where most people hit. Yeah. And then he hit outside of his body, and it was open. Yeah. So it was just yeah, it's like as a blocker, you can't get your hand on every ball. You try and take something away, and he just slammed it like in front of the 10-meter line. So there's just nothing you can do. Yeah. But we did win that set.
You guys did.
We did.
Yeah.
So
whatever.
It's not whatever. He got a crazy hit, and he blocked me. But
you're still the winner, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't play for highlights, man. You got to play for W's. Play for wins. I hope my team sees this. Yeah. Always play for wins.
Always play for wins.
Everybody wants the highlight play. Everyone wants the highlight.
Yeah,
everybody wants the big hit. Everyone wants the roof block. Focus. Keep your head in the game. Win the game, and then worry about the rest of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the part, like, growing up playing volleyball, man. Like, when you're young, you just want to get that super cool, like, outside strong hit. The one that, like, I don't know, for me, it was always, like, Taylor Sanders or, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he was a monster in his prime. Now it's, like, DeFalco.
TJ.
Yeah. TJ DeFalco's pretty good, too. I don't know.
I just watch middles now.
Yeah, I just
watch middles now because, like, if I'm going to be playing this position all the time, then I might as well learn.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you compare yourself to a Team USA middle? Those guys are like 6'9".
Yeah, for us.
Just massive.
Training, like, professionally their entire lives. So
volleyball is a game of touches, man. Like, even like 30 minutes of just getting touches every single day will make you an infinitely better player than playing 4 hours on like one day on the weekend.
Yeah.
But it's nobody's fault. It's just that's what it is here. Yeah. It's very expensive to play volleyball here.
It is. Is it expensive to do anything that's like, I don't know, leisure like here? Like having hobbies is expensive here.
I heard golf is crazy expensive here. Yeah. Like even like screen golf, I heard is like wildly expensive. And that's why people's hobby is drinking coffee at cafes.
Yeah. Because even cheap. That $5 coffee is cheaper than,
Yeah, than a $200 hour-and-a-half long session of screen golf.
Yep. Because technically you could go to like, at least like the franchise coffee shops. You can buy one drink. You can stay there for the whole entire day.
The whole day.
Yeah.
The whole day.
Yeah.
And you just bring your laptop and whatever you do on your laptop and, have your coffee and you're good. People watch for the entire And that's why everybody does it. And that's why there's so many cafes.
Just trade some of those cafes for like volleyball courts, man.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, I was watching one of the old podcasts that we do and it just reminded me, I'm like, I had never seen a cafe before I came here.
Oh,
I'll repeat that. Like, there was Tim Hortons, there was Starbucks, and that was it. Now there's cafes everywhere.
Yeah.
And I get it because everything else is too expensive to do except just drink coffee at cafes and hang out.
But that's why we can't. That's why we got to play volleyball.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just become basic.
Yeah.
Just chill at cafes.
No, I can't.
Not that, I like coffee like as much as the next guy, But I got to stay active too.
Yeah. So have you had any like volleyball drama, I guess?
Drama?
Yeah. Here or in the state or back in Canada?
Not really. I'm a drama-free guy for the most part, especially when it comes to volleyball and it comes to sports. Like, I feel like...
Do you feel like it's a different culture is what I mean?
Here?
I guess, yeah.
No, because we don't really play with... Like, we have some Korean people that we play with, but we don't really play with Korean people like that. Like, I haven't been directly involved in any drama. I've seen drama here and back home, but I haven't really been directly involved in it. I feel like people kind of see me and they just know what it is. Like, when it comes to volleyball, like, they know what I'm bringing to the table. You either want me on the team or you don't want me on the team. And for the most part, like, once I'm on the court, they know what I'm doing. Like, nobody's really trying to push and pull me like, oh, well, we don't want Michael because of this, or we don't want like, it's, if I'm here, I'm lucky enough that I'm one of the first picks usually when it comes to being on a team. I'm lucky enough. So I haven't really been a part of a lot of drama outside of the fact that I'm constantly playing out of position now. Yeah. But outside of that, no, not really.
Okay.
What about you?
Nah, I mean, not really drama or anything, but just like the difference in culture. I think, like, It feels like in Korean volleyball culture, or maybe just like general sports in general in Korea, is like they're very seclusive. So it's like very hard to get into any Korean volleyball club. You have to like essentially prove yourself that you're like
so weird.
Yeah, that you're like committed to the team, and that you have some sort of like, I don't know, like camaraderie with certain people in the team in order for you to be actually invited and be a part of the team to play.
Let's get into that, because I don't know what that, like, what do they mean by that? Like, what do you have to do to be a part of a team?
Well, for me, like, I played with a certain group, like Korean. I didn't play with them, but I like participated in their training a lot. Like they hosted trainings, which was like a $30 session for 2 hours.
$30 for 2 hours?
Yeah, $30 for 2 hours.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's pretty expensive, but
$30 could have carried me for like almost a month back home. Multiple sessions.
Yeah, but it's like a training, like it's a drill session, you know. So
that's even worse.
Yeah,
$30 for no, like, not even games. Just
it's just drills. Yeah. So I did that for a while, like a good 4 or 5 months, and that's when like I got connected to like the coach there and some of the players there, and that's when I was actually invited into their actual team,
the inner circle.
Yeah, to play with this Korean team. But then you get invited to play in the Korean team, and you still feel kind of like a bit of an outsider. And this is like, maybe it is partially due to my fault too, because I couldn't like speak Korean that well or stuff like that. But even outside of just like that social aspect, but when you go play, it feels like there's social aspect to playing volleyball in that team.
What do you mean?
Like, if they feel very comfortable with you or whatever, they'll put you in good positions to play. But if they don't feel like...
So the position is not based on what you play. They pick your position?
They kind of pick your positions, right?
That's weird.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like, of course, if you're really good at something, like you're one of their sunsus or whatever, they'll throw you on the really good positions out of like, because they have the hierarchy system. So they have to put, the older or most experienced person at their position that they want to play.
What happens if that person plays that position and then somebody's facing them and they just crush them?
They just keep playing.
They don't, like, so you can't take their position?
Like, from what I've seen, like the person who's played outside and they get crushed, they just play the entire game with him as the outside. And they just lose the game. So whatever. Yeah. Okay. It's whack. Like, yeah. And like, if you make any mistakes, it always feels like you could be taken out of your position at any time.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's true for like very high competitive in the States too, but like
in like any sport,
more so here.
But still, it's like
for like recreational play, it's kind of weird.
You kind of gotta let people play through mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're talking, if there's nothing on, like, at stake, like there's nothing on the line, then it's kind of like, bro, just let people play through.
Yeah.
You know, don't pull people. People for what?
But they'll never pull that, like, I don't know if I'm saying the word right, like Sun Tzu. They'll never pull the experienced person out from the position that he's playing. Even if he's making like hundreds of mistakes, they'll just let him play again, and then they'll run him back on the next set, and then it's like, what? Yeah. So for me, it's always been, it's kind of hard to play with like Korean teams, and that. But I've only been involved in like one Korean team. So I don't know if that's like a true aspect for every Korean team, but it's just from what I've seen.
The thing that's kind of dumb about that too, though, is like, if they're playing bad and you never sit them, then they have no incentive to play better. Yeah. They have no incentive. Like, sure, they probably want to win, but they have no incentive to improve, because like, I'm always going to have my position and I'm always going to be on the court no matter what. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Even if somebody's outplaying me, they cannot take my position. It's impossible. So that just, I don't know, that just breeds like complacency. I just feel like you're just not going to get better playing like that. But I don't know. I've never been part of the team.
Yeah. But it's also very like Korean style. Because like, if you've ever watched like League of Legends or whatever, they'll put all their resources into one person to carry the game. So they kind of do that with like, you know, volleyball. they put all their resources into one person to carry the game. I've seen that in like soccer too, where they kind of overhype, like I don't know if that's mean to say, but like they overhype like Son Heung-min to carry the game every time he's on the court, which is like a lot of pressure, man.
And it's just a weird burden because it's like, okay, so this one person is gonna carry the against a team full of people that are all good.
Yeah,
you know, like it's one thing if you're really good at volleyball, like, and you're really big, because that makes a big difference, then you can carry your team at certain levels. You can carry your team.
Yeah, at certain levels, right?
But I haven't met anybody here that is that big or that good. So it's weird that they would do something like that.
Yeah,
like, I mean, the closest that we have to getting carried is just Junseok carrying us for every single tournament. Junseok, or like Patrick, when Patrick was playing with us like way back in the day, and he's playing this next tournament, not for my team. But like, but outside of that, like everybody needs to kind of have ability and have skill. And like, who wants to play on a team where you have to defer to one person for the entire game?
Yeah. So that was very weird for me when I first started joining them, and in order to join them, you know, it's kind of weird. So, because like in the States, like, and then the way we play with like DVB is just like, okay, we're going to utilize everything that we have, or at least we're going to try to utilize everything we have, you know, and we wouldn't just set the strong side or the outside hitter like 5 times, 6 times, even though he's missed up like 5 out of those 6 times.
Yeah. Or they're just throwing a triple block at him now because they know the ball is going to him every single time. Yeah. So they just load up on him and stand.
So very different culture, I guess, when how they play, how they get people to play.
But that might also lead to why they play 9-man. Because in 9-man, then you just have that one guy that just stays outside and he just hits every single ball, right? Versus, and then 6, maybe they just try a similar philosophy where it's like whoever it is, just send the ball to him, you know, over and over and over again. Like he's the guy that's gonna carry us to the promised land, you know. So could be that. I mean, maybe not, but it's just weird. If you're on a team, like I want to play on such a well-balanced team where everybody is playing their correct position to the highest level. That's when volleyball feels like an orchestra. Yeah. It feels like music. Everybody's playing exactly the way that they're supposed to play. Everyone's on a string doing what they do best. That's the best volleyball ever. And I haven't been able to play that in a while. Yeah. I want to get back to that.
Me too. Well, I want to get to that. I don't know if I've ever actually been to that. Yeah. I guess another weird thing is like, you know, when we play volleyball, I don't know, that's kind of weird. Like doing like a us versus them sort of thing. Not trying to, but like when I came to play volleyball in Korea, like I think like you were saying, like everything was like really officialized. You know, even like these very low tier teams who, when you watch them play, you're like, oh, this is like their first year playing, or this is like their first week touching a ball or whatever. But they still like get jerseys, they get like official team names, they get official, like they officialize everything. Like,
which is so funny because
they make an Instagram page.
Yeah, like back home, we play tournaments and like nobody at the tournament has jerseys.
Yeah.
You know who's on whose team because they're on the same side of the court. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's not like basketball where, you know, people are like intermingling and mixed around, or soccer or something like that. Like, yeah. But I guess we just don't take it as serious. Also because, like, I guess here, when they make a team or they have a club, that's their club. Like, every tournament, they're going to play together, same people every single time. Doesn't matter. Whereas back home, like, every tournament, people are just, yo, you free?
Yeah, you free?
Yo, come join the team. Yo, you free? Come join the team. Like, you're on the team. So every tournament, you have a mix of people, right? Like, very rarely, you'll see, like, 1 or 2 guys, or, like, a guy and a girl. Like, usually they'll be paired up and they'll be on the same team almost all the time. Yeah. But for the most part, teams mix around so much that there's no point of getting jerseys. And even in our leagues, like, one season you'll be with these people, and then the next season, who even knows? Yeah. You might be mixed up with some other people. People sign up by themselves too, like as individuals, and just get placed on a team. So things are just way more fluid and less official.
Yeah. I guess it has to do, some parts of it probably has to do with like their culture kind of being like a mob mentality or whatever, and like homogenous, you know, sort of deal. And then also probably like when those teams rent out a facility, they're like, okay, I guess we're all gonna pitch into this facility for
forever,
this amount of time. So
for the next
we're
5
committed
years.
to each other. Might as well just go full on hard, But yeah, like I was not used to like going to play with like Koreans and then always having some sort of officialized clothing, officialized like standard for everything. When I would go in the States and just show up with like a tee and the shorts and be like, okay, let's play.
Yeah, I mean, like we never, like we still, DVB still technically doesn't have jerseys for DVB. Like, we have team jerseys for different teams and stuff. But when I was looking at all these other teams, I'm like, yo, these guys have jerseys and like pages, whatever. Like back home, we have BVL. Shout out BVL, Brampton Volleyball League.
Okay,
we have BVL, and it's like that's for the whole city. So it's like everybody is in it. It's not like just a couple people here and there. It's like everybody. So there's like we have merch and stuff, but it's a community. And even in BVL, like people make teams in BVL and go play tournaments.
Yeah.
Or you might even have a team of some BVL people that are playing with people from Toronto, that are playing with people from wherever, and then they just go play a tournament. Whereas here, it's like we have come together. And this is our this is our brotherhood forever. Like we might accept a new person every now and then, but we have a real core of like 6, 7, 8 people, and like we're always together. We have jerseys, we have a page. I don't know, it's so different. It's like it's so funny to me because even now when we try and play against other people, we have to like officially set up a game. You
have to like officially DM like some sort of like official message DM, not even just like a hey, you want to play. It's like a we as a DVB would like to play.
We would like to invite you to our court to play an official exhibition match against
at this time and this blah blah. And
back home it's just like, yo, reach.
Sunday, you guys free? Next Sunday? All right,
bro, just come. We got open gym. Bring your friends.
Yo, even like we just got a Facebook page in Colorado. It's just like, yo, our team is playing this week. Any team want to come about, play, help us out. And then if they come, they come. If they don't come, they don't come. It's like whatever.
You just play with who you got.
Yeah, it's like okay.
But I think that also comes from like a culture of just
having a lot of players.
Things are just casual in general. Like sports are casual. If you want to, people just like for example BVL. Every year you have tons of new people of all different kinds of levels. You have people that are lower level players, you have higher level players. People just sign up and they just play. And they might play this year and then they might not play next year. They might play 3 months and then they move to somewhere else and then they don't play. So it's just way more transient. Whereas with here, you kind of latch onto a club because you want to play and there's not that many opportunities for you to play. So you latch onto a club and then you just stick with them.
Yeah.
Because you're comfortable with them. You know that you're going to have a consistent gym to play in every single week or even sometimes multiple times a week. Yeah. And you just stick it out. The nice thing about us is that we as DVB, we move around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like there's some that play with Sus. There's some that play with Astro High. There's some that play wherever. And we like mix it up a lot. Like some play PB. We played, Soul Crushers and stuff like that. So
the nice thing about us is like we're also all like decently good players too. I wouldn't say we're the highest, but like we all know that like if you go to DVB, you're gonna have a decent time. Like if you want to play somewhat competitive volleyball.
At least intermediate.
Yeah,
that's what I would call
us.
Like intermediate for Seoul and Korea. We're high level.
Right.
If we were to like take DVB and then transplant it in the middle of Hawaii, California, we would not be.
Yeah.
But for here, we're like high intermediate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, the most frustrating thing is just getting enough reps. So like getting enough play time, having that freedom to get enough play time, I think the freedom part is like really frustrating for me. Like it feels like anytime there is an open gym, it's like it's like a competition to get into the slots. Like with SUS or SUS, they had a group chat of like 200 plus people.
That's nice.
And they host like 2 open gyms, one on Saturday, or when they can, they try to host like 2 open gyms on Saturday and Sunday, and the max people can go in is like 21 for one session, right? So you got like 200 people competing for a 21 session.
You got 180 people sitting at home.
Yeah, for real. So like that's really frustrating for me. And then just getting playtime during the weekdays is also like something that I've been really frustrated with, because I'll try to get something down on I get something down on the weekends, and then I'll forget it completely on the weekdays, and then have to try to relearn it on the weekends. It's like a slow progress, man. And as a player, if you feel like, I feel like I'm being stunted by that. Well, not just only that, but like there's a stunting factor that becomes really frustrating for me as a player. Get like a lot of mental block.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with. Like I feel like I'm reverting as a player. Like, because I'm dealing with a ton of injuries, and it's like, it's hard to work through that. Even on Sundays, it's hard to work through that. Like the constant back and forth, the jumping and whatever. And it's like my legs, like I literally just started going on essentially a diet, like fasting, just to like lose some weight to take pressure off my knees. Like it's been tough. But even then, it's like you work out your body so hard for 4 hours, and then you're not doing the same kind of motions for the rest of the week. Yeah. Like I get some passing reps in, which is rare because I'm playing middle most of the time now. You get a couple passing reps in, and then you don't touch the ball again. Yeah. Like I'll do a little bit of passing stuff at home. Yeah. But it's not game speed. It's not game height or anything like that. So you get a couple touches here and there, and you do the best that you can. But there's nothing like just being on the court. Like we used to play back home. You'd have like, I can't remember the exact days that we played, but I'm pretty sure it was like we had a Monday session, and that's open gym. You had a Friday open gym session. I had my league games on Wednesday. I'd play on the weekends sometimes too. Sometimes we'd rent out like a school gym or whatever, and we got that for not that expensive. It was just constant, which is probably why my knees are so messed up in the first place. But I felt way more comfortable on the court. Yeah, like I knew what I could do. Yeah, like I just felt comfortable in my body. Yeah. Whereas now I feel like I'm second guessing everything that I'm doing. Like I'm slow to my blocks. I can't close out my blocks and stuff like that. I just feel sluggish.
Dude, it's even hard to like pass by yourself at home, or like even hit the ball at home, because like there's no facility for you to like, they don't have public facilities here are not really a thing. Yeah. Every building here is like owned by something or someone, so you can't just go to like some random recreational gym and just start hitting against the wall, or passing against the wall,
or a school. Like, that would be crazy. Yeah, like back home you could go to a school maybe and just do whatever. But there's no public facility.
Yeah, like I mean, universities, you can go on their open, like the grass courts and stuff like that. You can go on their like track fields and stuff, but you can't go and use their gym. Like that gym has every university has reserved slots for their gymnasiums for like different sports, different clubs, so you can't it's very hard to even practice by yourself.
And I mean, colleges and unis back home are kind of similar. Like they use their gym for like their own stuff, and like I get it. Like there's students that are paying tuition to use that gym, and they want to be able to use it. But I do remember when I was in college, like we'd bring any old buddy off the street and they would just come in and play ball. Or like we'd be playing volleyball, and then people would just show up and play, and it was fine. Yeah. But I just don't feel like, I feel like because we're expats and we're foreigners, we're not really privy to the inside of that. Yeah. Like when I was in college, we'd just bring my homie from wherever and be like, hey, yo, we're balling. Like show up at like 3 and like you can play for like 2 hours. We'll get you in.
But like for me, like even college, like my college my university had it had like its own gym for the athletes, and then it would have a separate gym for like the students. But then that was also open for like the public, so the public could go into that gym as well, as long as they paid like, I don't know, a $10 entrance day pass or whatever. So like, and in general, we just had like, in the States, they just had a bunch of recreational areas, recreational centers. There's like recreational centers like 20 minutes away from each other, 10 minutes away from each other. Pop in, pay $5, go hit against a wall.
And that's like why I feel the States will always kind of be an edge ahead of everywhere else when it comes to athletics, because you just have people that are living and breathing athletics from the time that they're born, essentially. Yeah. And it's just life.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody is going to be a professional athlete, but when you have that many people playing sports all the time, you have such a big pool of people to pull from.
Yeah.
Like, here it's so specific where it's like you need to go to a school for this, or you need to, like, they're not pulling athletes from high school, you know, like from just like a regular high school, unless like they are 6'9" or something like that. For the most part, like, they're trained. Whereas back home, there's people that they just play ball and then they're in high school and suddenly they're scoring 40. Yeah. And that's like, yo, we need to get them in a program. Yeah. You know, whereas I just don't feel like there's as many facilities for that here. Yeah. Like, you need to train for it, and if you train for it, then you'll be that, you know, but I don't know. It's just weird to see a culture where athletics is so low on the totem pole of important things. But I guess, like, obviously, if you think about
the way that's
life in general, like, nobody's gonna be like, yo, sports is important. Everybody's gonna say education is important. And Korea is very
education, like like strong.
It's very education centric.
Driven. Yeah. So
clearly, globally, they're doing the right thing, but it's just weird coming from a culture where athletics is such a premium thing. And I even have negative feelings towards Canada when it comes to athletics, but I feel better about Canada when it comes to sports than Korea, because we just have less opportunity here.
Yeah. But it is what it is. You know, you get by with what you can, and then.
I mean, we've done okay.
Yeah.
We've been playing together for years now.
Yeah, and I've definitely felt like I've improved. At least I felt like I've improved the past 3 years. Even though it's not as much as I would like to be, but
keep plugging away at it, man.
Keep plugging, And, you know, speaking of which, like, for all the people who do send DMs to me, they're like, yo, where you play at? Like, can we get some open gym times? I'm like, bro, don't ask me, because these open gyms, I'm like saving it for myself, yo. I can't even get open gyms for myself, first off.
But real, like, I'm not in these DMs, but if you can really play, I'm all for it, man. If you're out here and you can really play ball, I love facing new people. Yeah. Like, I'm so into the idea of facing new people. I don't care if they like slam a ball on me, like Patrick slammed the ball on me like 3 days ago. I don't care.
Dude, I wish I could, like, you know, people who do message me, I wish I could be like, yo, just like come through. But like, the way it is here, it's like it's always limited to a certain amount of players. Yeah. And I'm not the one organizing any of the games either.
All I can do is point them to the person who organizes
it. For reals.
I can't ever say, yo,
I just create content.
I'll just be like, yo, I can send you to people that set this up and they can talk to you, and if everything's cool, then everything's cool. But I can't guarantee anything. And people have asked me before, like, hey, like, I played volleyball, you know, when I was in high school, like, can I come play? I'm like, it might not be the place in charge. Might not be the place for you, but I'm not the one to decide that. You know, like, there's somebody else who, you know, puts the money up. So you know, they make the final decision.
I mean, if enough people hear this and they really want me to set things up, and then if I get enough DMs about it, I'll be down to try to host something, like be a person who, you know, set things up. I gotta get enough people to.
We're just players, man. We just want to play ball. Yeah. If there's enough people that want to play ball, like, we will, knowing the people that we play ball with and we hang out with, we will always be able to fill a gym with people as long as it's at an appropriate time on an appropriate day. Yeah. We will always be able to get people out to play, because people want to play more ball.
Always. All right. Hopefully, maybe I will start like a Discord or something, and then if I get enough people, I don't know about Discord, but some sort of community where I can like
throw it back to a Facebook group.
Yeah. Guarantee this amount of people would come to my session, and then I would like try to book a gym or something. You
put it on meetup.com.
Yeah, meetups. Yo, meetups is good, man.
Apparently meetup is good.
Yeah, it is good.
I don't use it, but I've heard
played volleyball in like all the other countries I've been to.
Meetups,
but not in Korea. Just not in Korea. Meetups is trash in Korea. Go to Facebook for Korea. Meetups in other parts of the country.
Because I was wondering how you did all that. Like when you went to every country and played volleyball in every country. I was like, how did you find that? Did you know people there? And now I know it was meetups.
And
if
I did know some
people. If you need a hobby or something to do, I'm promoting meetups. I don't even use it. I'm promoting it.
But not in Korea. Korea's Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook or like, well, for foreigners it's Facebook and then Instagram for Koreans. So yeah.
I first found volleyball here on Reddit. It's crazy but true.
Interesting.
I literally just, as soon as I came, they were like, I was like, yo, where's the volleyball at? And they were like, you should check out Project Ball or Soul Crushers. And I was like, bet, I'm going to check that out on Facebook. And then I went to Facebook.
Yeah.
But it was Reddit first.
Okay. So, I mean, dude, actually, I think I found mine on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is a spot for finding things in Korea.
For
jobs,
foreigners.
Yeah, jobs, sports. There's groups where people just give you stuff for free.
Yeah, that's true.
Like really, really free stuff. And they'll just be like, yo, I'm moving. Here's like 3 jugs of washing detergent, laundry detergent.
I just need the scene to be bigger here, man, for volleyball.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because people come and go. And like a lot of people, when they come here, they just don't know how to find it. And sometimes people, like, shout out all the people that have come through DVB. You know, shout out Teho, shout out Stan.
Let's go. Like, we miss you guys.
All these people. Oh, also shout out Minjae. He was supposed to be here today.
Yeah, Minjae.
Hope you're feeling better,
bro.
Yeah. Hope you're feeling good. Shout out Minjae. But yeah, shout out all the people that came through. Shout out Wilson. Yeah. You know, but it sucks because it's hard to get a big. What's up? It's hard to get a big scene when people come and go.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, some people will stay for 5-10 years. Some people will only stay for 1.
Yeah, and some people are just students passing by for a semester.
So it's hard to build on something when people are not putting down roots.
Yeah.
Like back home, BVL, people actually live in Brampton. Yeah. So.
Or if Koreans were more, not trying to dog on them, but like if they were more willing to play with foreigners. Because, you know,
it sucks, but I kind of get it.
Just play, man. Who cares?
But it's like, there's the whole...
We could just practice together.
But you know how a lot of Korean people are about like the language thing, like where they're like, oh, I can't speak English, so like I don't want to talk to the foreigners because it's like so intimidating and scary. Like I understand it, and also we were just ragging on them about playing on a small net. Yeah. And it's like, if we came in and we were like, yo, raise your net right now. Yeah.
They'd be like, what? Whoa.
Yo, lift
Hold up. We just played on this net for like, I don't know, X amount of years.
No, lift that up. Yeah. Lift that up to make me comfortable, the foreigner.
No, but like, okay, you and I would be down for, like, it doesn't matter for us. Anywhere. But yeah, we'll play with any net size, whatever. Yeah. If that's whatever they're comfortable with.
But it might not be fun.
But there are some people, yeah.
It might not be fun for them when I'm hitting
for you
in front of the.
For me, it's just be good. Line. I'll take it. I'll take the lower net. Give me the lower net.
Yeah, it's the practices. I do wish we could play with Korean people at practices, but more than that, I wish we could play with Korean people at tournaments. I want us to be a part of tournaments with Korean teams.
Yeah,
I hate that every tournament we go to, all the Korean teams are 9-man teams. I know that there's Korean 6-man teams, and we don't get to face them because they don't want to play with us. They want to play in their own like isolated
Korean
thing.
Tournament, yeah. Because
I don't know like any Korean 6-man teams, but I know that they have tournaments because we've been denied from them before.
Yeah.
So what's going on with that? Let us play. Let us win.
I think honestly it's just like the 9-man and then you just put the 6 people onto it and then just like.
Yo, I said that the last tournament. I was like, I think we could actually beat some of these 9-man teams with 6 people, but then they were like, the court's too big. And knowing the way that we pass most of the time, it wouldn't look good.
It'd be awful.
We really gotta work on the passing a lot.
All right,
guys, you hear that?
If there are new viewers, new volleyball players who want to play with us,
hit us up.
Yes, hit my DM. I will try my best. If I get enough interest, right now I'm like, I say a couple people DM me, but it's only been like a couple people, like 1 or 2 people.
Since you became an international volleyball superstar on Instagram.
And I always direct them. I always try to direct them to different places or like give them information that I know, but I don't know everything. But if there are enough people who, you know, see this, slide into my DMs and I get enough people, I'll try to book a gym, you know.
Also, people, check out Will's Instagram. He's always posting volleyball content, and recently, who did you get reposted by?
I don't know, man.
Power Volleyball.
Oh my gosh,
big time post. Shout out Jinsuk. He's now famous as well.
Bro. It's not even so. Like that's the thing. I'm not even like. I'm trying not to get fazed by it because it wasn't even anything I did.
It was. You posted it.
Yeah, it's
your post, literally.
But
what
then,
do you
like,
mean?
you know who did? But who did the thing to make it popular? It was Junseok.
That's fine. You guys can share credit for it.
Yeah, I mean, all the credit goes to Junseok. I just put him up.
Well, shout out both my homies, Will and Junseok. Congratulations. You know, the world seeing your reels and your skills, etc.
Okay, I'm a decent video editor. Junseok is a good volleyball player.
Junseok is the savior of our entire club.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this knowing he might watch it and he's gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
He's not gonna.
He's too humble, man. He's too good. He's too good and too humble.
We love you, Junseok.
Yeah.
You should have been here too.
Yeah. Where you at, bro?
Next time.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good for this podcast.
All righty.
Good spot to close it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I can reach out to some other volleyball players who want to come to Korea and want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Until next time, Mike, thank you so much.
No problem. I feel like I'm essentially like a co-host of this now. I'm here like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Saint Mike.
Shout out.
You can find him everywhere on Spotify, SoundCloud, anywhere you get music, YouTube, on Instagram.
Check my music out and give me real criticisms.
Yes, sir.
Or just vibe out to it and show it to your friends, etc.
Yeah, come out, come watch Mike, Saint Mike.
Yeah, Will was at the show last week. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. Your new song is good.
Thank you. That's really coming out August 4th.
Yeah.
August 4th, brand new music. My new song, Reputation.
Let's go. All right, until next time, everyone. Peace out.
Later.